A lot of people out there, a lot of sellers out there, like to proclaim that they are the safest and top shipper in the history of the game. That their packaging is kabloom, kapoom, bulletproof. Well, I like to throw my ability to ship packages safely in that ring, and here is that video. Stay tuned. Fat dad, gonna put on a shirt. Will it fit? No, it can't, 'cause he eats all the food. Look out, here comes a fat dad. Hi, Will of Fat Dad Comics here. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I like to package books when I send them out to buyers or AOKs or whomever I'm sending these books to. Whom seems more official. Is the whom like plural? I don't know. So I'm going to just let you guys know. If you're curious whether or not you are actually good at packaging books and making it safe and easy to open, because I think that's another aspect that's really important, why don't you package your book, put it to the side, or even send it to yourself somehow, and then open it. You will see. That's the true test. You shall see how good your packaging is. Now, if you don't believe that my packaging is top notch, here on the screen, before I show you my tutorial, are actual testaments, or testimonials rather, of my packaging on eBay. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not just blowing smoke. Pretty good at it. All right, so over here on the table we have materials that we're going to need to package the book. The book that I'm going to package is going to be this book right here. Actually, this was given to me in a purchase I made on eBay to kind of like rectify them not sending me the wrong item. So I have a pretty cool guy that I met through the comic book community on IG, and I'm going to send this to him as an AOK. But for the purposes of this video, this is the comic I will be packaging. All right, so I have here my comic book. It's in bag and board. To the right of that, you're going to see these are actually Silver Age backer boards. These backer boards I'm going to use to sandwich and to support the comic, although it already has its own backer board and bag. Okay. Over here, I have already pre-cut piece of bubble wrap that I will use to wrap the comic, and you're going to see how I kind of go through all that. Okay. I have my shears here, trusty shears. These are actually specific shears to the trade of data cabling, and I know you guys, if you watch any of my videos, you see me use these shears, or you see me use this cable splicing knife, which I use to open packages. So I'm not going to use this one right now because I'm packaging the book. Okay. I'm going to also, here we have painter tape. I'll be using some of this painter's tape. And I have packaging tape that I have right here. And then you'll see in front of me, this is a roll of the bubble wrap, which I already pre-cut here. And then this is another one that you'll see me use. And you have here a do not bend, a couple of do not bend stickers, and please handle with care fragile stickers. This is all this stuff is important, and you'll see where and how I utilize those things. So to start, I'll put this to the side. Over here I have my shears. I'm going to take my comic book. Okay, comic book is there. I'm going to grab 1, 2 backer boards, and I'm going to put that on the front of this here. And then I will take another 2 backer boards. Okay. And I'm going to put that on the back side here. And I'm going to like sandwich them like so. I'm going to do it in a way so that it stays as much in the middle as possible. All right. So first, I'll take my painter's tape. I take about this length here. I'm not going to say how many inches I think it is because perception belongs to the beholder. No innuendos. All right. So what I did there was I folded a little piece here, a tab, and what that does is that creates a tab where you can actually pull the tape away nice and neatly. So what I like to do is I'll bring it up like so, lightly put it over so that it's not actually very tight, right? So that way I can then get the comic book away from the edge of that tape there. Take another piece, rinse and repeat. I'm gonna do another loop here. Okay, try to get this thing as straight as possible. Okay, so that way all the boards are neat. Make sure the comic is away from. Apply a little pressure, very little, just to hold the comic book in place, and lightly, gently pull it over. Okay, now this will be the front of the comic book. Right, this is the front, top. Keep that in mind. Cut another piece here. Again, little loopity loop. Okay. Put this over here. And of course, because it's a tutorial, or not rather a tutorial, just demonstration. It's not a tutorial. I'm not telling you guys what to do. I'm showing you guys how I do it. And this, again, and I think I'll mention this in the beginning or the end of this video, but this is, I've watched countless videos on CGC submissions, packaging for CGC submissions, packaging just books using Gemini Mailer, which is what I have underneath everything. And I develop my own style based on what I've received in packages, from the things I've ordered from others, what I've received from people in the comic book community. And this is just the style I sort of developed that I found was the best way and works the best. Okay, so now I have this thing sandwiched. It's nice and tight. The comic book's not going to shift anywhere, right? It's nice and secure on 4 corners, right? So now the next step is I'm going to take this, which I pre-cut. Normally I do this off the roll, okay? And I'll try to evenly distribute the book so that way it has equal space from top and the bottom here. Bring this bad boy over. Pull another piece of tape here and loop it. The reason why we're creating these little loops, these little handles, these tabs, is to make it easier for the individual that you're shipping it to unearth the bag, because you can damage a book when it's not properly sealed. Like, just like if you put tape all over the place, someone may be forced to cut and they'll accidentally cut into their book. Someone will. Anyway, this I like to use. This, the reason why I like to go off the rolls, because I could get it nice and tight. But yeah, you could damage your book for sure. Packaging a book. I mean, unpacking a book. So you want to make sure you want to make sure you don't put too much tape, or you don't give them a way to pull away the tape safely from whatever you use. Okay, and the reason why you use painter's tape, I think I learned this from Reggie Collect, or a few guys do this. I mean, it seems pretty good standard wise, is because it's not as sticky, so you have less chance of it being so hard to pull off that you could accidentally bend the book or something to that effect. All right, so what I like to do is I'll give this like a little tuck here, little tuck here. Try to keep it as flat as possible, and then I'll just put like a little piece over it, over the edge. You know, honestly, you don't need to do this part, but I just want to make sure I minimize any chance that you could damage the book. That's the thing that I'm just really trying to avoid here for the most part. You want this thing to get to the purchaser, the friend, whomever you are sending it to, as safe as possible. Okay. Boom. Another piece. And again, I may have mentioned this later. I feel like my packaging, because of my experiences, it will definitely be, if you look at my eBay, which I'll put a link below, my eBay. If you look at my eBay, you'll see the main thing people talk about is my fair grading assessments and my how safe I package my books. All right, so this is set now, right? The next step you're gonna do is you're gonna get your Gemini mailer ready. Okay. The way you fold it is just that I like it like that. See where it says Gemini mailer here on the bottom? It doesn't. It's supposed to right here. So let's give this a little flippity-do. Now I like to give this the most room possible. So I will preemptively, because you have like all these like fold options, I guess, for like different size books. Not I guess, that's what it's for. So I try to do it ahead of time. Bend it early. I like it to be nice and tight, where I know it's only a single book there. So, but with the padding that I've created with the bubble wrap, it's going to be a little thicker. So now it's all pre-bent, right? Pre-bent. I'm going to take my book, put it in, make sure it's safely in there where I'm not damaging the top or the bottom. Boom shakalaka. So I look at it, I think it looks good. Now, next step. I'm gonna take this bad boy to the mailer itself. So I'm gonna cut another piece. And again, I feel like you get a book from me and it's gonna be safer than most people. However, use my style. I'm not very judicious when it comes to being wasteful in the tape packaging material area, because I feel like the value is here, value's inside, and that's the book, and my goal is to get it safely to whoever made the purchase, whether it's a $3 book or $1,000 book. I'm going to handle it as if it was an AF-15 every time. Because you know what? How many times we went into dollar bins, pulled out a book, and then 2 years later, there's like some value to it. And that's not even why. You know what? From a business standpoint, yeah. But from the standpoint of someone who's just a collector and lover of comics, you don't want a book to be destroyed, no matter what value you believe it has or does not have. All right, so I'm going to put this piece of tape here to hold these two flaps down. It's not the best because you're going to see it's like kind of like lifts. Now, you have multiple options here. And I've done it multiple ways, right? I like to avoid the use of any form of a knife to unearth a comic book. Okay? So I want to make sure, just a little pressure. I want to make sure this thing does not require a knife. So as it stands right now, none needed. So what I'm going to do after I close each flap, make sure that if you look here, there's space in between there, in between here, pretty flat here. You want to make sure it's like going to be free of any like chances to be crushed. And I know this thing is like protected, but like enough pressure, you could ruin the book. Now this is where your packaging tape comes into play. Take out a piece. Come to the front of this bad boy. This is where a guy like Chris Journal will pull out Red Deadly. This is an instance where Rage Theo will come out and pull out one of his trusty knives that he likes to use. And this is where old Fat Dad will pull out his cable splicer. Okay, so come over and just see, boom, piece and a piece. Now, just to give it a nice extra seal, come with my packaging tape, go over this lip here, tape on the inside, and then I'll come across, cut it. It's not as, it's kind of like a wrinkled butt, and boom. All right, nice and secure. It's not going to go anywhere. That's this portion. The next thing I like to do is where I write like a little message. This one's for a particular person. Hey, comma, Dennis, thank you for all the support. A little token of my appreciation. Okay. Fat Dad Comics 81. That's me on IG at Fat Dad Comics 81. That's what the Sharpie's for me. You guys could write a message to whoever you're shipping it to if you'd like. This is an A-OK. This is why I did that portion. All right, so there's one more thing that I didn't show there in the supplies that you're gonna need. So I try to get a smaller version of this bag, and I accidentally got this big SOB somehow. I don't know how I got it, but I made it work. You know, it's like a pack of like 100 or something like that. So gotta make it work, and I do make it work. So before I put it in there, I will take my giant roll of pretty obvious Home Depot bubble wrap. Most expensive shipper, guys. I'm telling you right now. Now here is where I will use packaging tape, but I still use a loop just so that way people could reuse this bubble wrap. And I want to make sure that they can reuse the bubble wrap. So, you know, you'll cut this like piece here, and if you want to send something, you can. I'll give it one roll and another roll, and then I'll take my trusty shears that I use for work. These shears, man, I've trimmed. I used to splice wires with, or I'll score the jacket off of a cable and expose the copper and make whatever terminations I need to make. I've trimmed my nose hairs with it in the bathroom, and I use it to package comic books. So not only are you getting a wonderful book, but you get a little piece of me, my DNA. You could clone me, because I don't know why you would clone me. I wouldn't. Okay, boom. So you have that there. This also gets like a little tuckies over here. I'll put like another little piece of tape with the loop. Look, anybody who got a package from me, they will tell you about it. Okay, boom, loopity. You just want to make sure that this thing is well protected. These are collectibles. These are things that we hold dear. When we get them sent to us, we want them to be amazing. I try to, like, listen, I've made adjustments to save on wrap, bubble wrap and all that stuff. However, like I said, this is very important that you protect this. All right, so now, next step. That thing's well protected. I'm going to open up this bad boy. Lay it like so. You don't need to get this thing. This is by accident. You don't need to even use this thing. But I recommend something similar, which is going to be more fitting, a smaller size. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to put this now overly protected, well protected collectible in here. I'm going to hit it all the way in this far corner. I'm going to make sure I get it as deep and tight as possible so I can do this. And I could fold it over like a so. Okay. Then I'm going to take a long piece of this tape here. Okay. And then I'm going to seal this somewhat. Now I'm going to straighten this out. This is all with experience having to use these giant bags. So I'll trim away. Right, so like I was saying, let me just explain this real quick. I'm forced to trim this away so that way has like this adhesive strip here, which then I could pull back, right? Fold this forward, right? Nice. Why I recommend using something like this. I've seen other people use it as well. And to me, it should be obvious. And if it's not obvious, I'll explain it. The reason why is just in case any chance of water damage coming into play, and it can in the crazy world we live in. a better chance of protecting it from water damage. Okay, so this helps protect against the elements, and I like to seal it as best as I can. All around. All around. I don't want water seeping in. Maybe it's a rainy day and your United States Parcel Service person just kind of like throws it on your porch and nowhere near the awning. Let's put a little piece here. Okay, now this is the back side, this is the front side. I will typically tape my label onto here or stick it on. If you have the fancy smancy thermo stickers, you would put that there. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm not going to show you my homie's address. It's his home address, not a P.O. box. But I will provide please handle with care sticker. I will also provide please do not bend. Handle with care. Do not bend. Thank you. And on the back side of this, just in case they didn't see it, we get one right here, dead in the middle. And we get another one here, just below. So now, person handling this knows that it is indeed fragile and it should be handled with care. And we always say thank you, and please don't bend this thing. This thing cannot be shoved in or bent in any way. This is not a t-shirt. So this will not 100% protect it from such things happening. However, this is the best we can do. And if anyone cares, they will heed these warnings and these advisements. So this is how I package my books, whether it's 10. Well, if it's 10, it's going to go in a box. If it's 4 to 5 books that I can fit in a Gemini mailer, this is it. This exact way that I've done it. And it'll be protected like this. If I'm going to package anything else larger than that, multiple Gemini mailers, more than 6 books, more than 5-6 books, I will package it in Gemini mailer separately in a box, whole bunch of bubble wrap, and I mean, that's just the way it should be. This is the collectible world, guys, and we should handle books with care that we are not only receiving, but for sure sending out to others in the community, no matter who you guys are. So that's that. If you think you're better than me in packaging, more power to you. I just know that if I'm known for anything besides my beer belly and my sixth sense of humor, it's my ability to safely package your collectibles. Well, I'd like to thank you for watching that video of my packaging tutorial. And I would like to mention that I didn't learn this on my own. I watched countless videos on YouTube on how to package, and it's more of like an aggregate of probably the best shippers out there. So I implore you to do the same thing. I don't think there's any one particular way that is the best. Maybe I'm just a little prideful or what have you, but I think mine is up there with the best out there. But like there are many choices, many strategies, and many ways that are probably less costly. If anything, that's where mine suffers. Mine's probably the most costly, as you can see in the tutorial aspect of it. You can see it's damn near bulletproof though. So, with that being said, stay tuned and keep collecting.